It's so funny that every time that I have some time away, or when I do these videos, it's usually I'm on my way out to go somewhere for a short period of time, or I'm just getting back. So I never thought that I would be in a place, at this point in my life where I would be on the go for good reasons. So I just got back in town from being in Waco, Texas, spending time with my baby sister who lives in Waco. And our other two sisters, we all got together and surprised her and showed up. And we just had a really good time together, spending it together. While we were there, I had a chance to visit Magnolia Market because although it had not been anything on my list of places to visit, it had been something in the back of my mind as something that I wanted to do. But I never built any excitement around that because I just felt like it was just too far fetched of an idea. And I don't know why I felt that way because I've been traveling a lot more lately. And, when you do start getting yourself out there, you start to realize how possible things actually are. And come on now, it's just a couple states away. It's not like it's overseas. And even that, travel has become so sophisticated with, airplanes, it's possible. Like people have been doing it for years and years and years. It's just that it's just recently become part of my reality. And so again, it wasn't a place that I saw myself going anytime soon. It just felt so far off in the distance. And, so going there was like, I wouldn't say a dream come true, but it was kind of like, is this really happening? Am I really here? And it felt just really, really good to actually be somewhere that I never thought I would be in this season of my life. And so when I came back, of course, I always have something to glean from my time away. When I came back and I was sitting down this morning, and it was a short trip, maybe like 3 nights, 4 days. I was just kind of like, did that really happen? And it did. And I posted about it and shared some pictures on some of my social media profile. And today I'm going to write up a small style post connected to it. And I was able to spend time with my siblings, enjoy being somewhere that I thought I would never be. That was a lot of fun, just getting out. We picked a day that was really, really good because Waco had some really funky weather while we were there. And fortunately, the side of Waco that my sister lives, we weren't hit as hard with the hailstorms as other places. And so it just turned out to be a really, really good time, a really good time. And it wasn't filled with too much overexcitement and overwhelm. We chose things to do that was, within our means, was, within distance that we could get to easily so that we're not stressed. And we chose places that, or my sister did because she's more familiar with Waco. We chose places that we knew that we would be cool with. We knew that we would be able to hang out and have fun. We don't really need a lot of thrills to enjoy our time together. We are the thrill. The four of us together, we are the party. So we didn't really have to be around other people, but the fact that we were around other people, I mean, you could just tell that people could tell that we were. Once they recognized that we were all sisters and stuff, they enjoyed talking to us. So we definitely carried that vibe and exuded a lot of light while we were out there. So to bring it back to Magnolia Market, again, it was a place that I never thought that I would go. I had so much fun being there. And it kind of leads me to this thought that, in my life, I have felt in the past that so many things were just too far out of my reach. And a lot of times I have been looking at my own personal circumstances and just kind of ruled myself out of having or experiencing certain things. And I had conditioned myself to believe that that was okay. And for a season of time, it was. okay, and I feel like it was a way of protecting myself from being so disappointed. So I'm at a place now where I'm recognizing that as being a coping mechanism, and that having that trip to Magnolia Market, the few hours that we spent out there kind of opened just a new idea, a new window, just a new perspective of healing that area of my life. So that's why I wanted to capture this moment. It was for me, it was a first step at healing that part of my life that felt like, you know, I don't deserve, you know what I mean, to reach these type of goals. I did have, and I do have this dream or this idea or this, when I envision my life, it does include some form of travel. And back in 2020, it was actually a core part of my focus in 2020. And when 2020 happened and that changed for everybody for a period of time, it almost kind of re-solidified the old thought pattern of, well, it's okay. It's not a big deal. But it is a big deal, you know? And so I no longer want to, the other part of the lesson is I no longer want to continue to dishonor my feelings when something is really disappointing me. So all that to say that this is an area that I'm working on and healing through. The other point that I want to make that really prompted me to make this video is that recently, even before this trip, I had been praying, kind of meditating, and just thinking things a little bit differently. And I was just asking God to help me to do life with a little more ease. Help me to make decisions in how I work, how I live, that includes rest and ease. Because, you know, I left the idea of hustle. Now, the idea of hustle back in 2015, 2016, when I kind of pulled away from all things corporate for a while. Now, it's 2023, and I still have not fully engaged or pushed myself to go anywhere corporate, career or creatively. By doing that, I was just able to tap into my own things creatively. Though there was still this, you know, kind of lag in my perspective of hustle culture. Like, I kind of went from one hustle culture into a more entrepreneurial minded or freelance version of hustle culture, and I lived in that space for a while, and I kept trying to, you know, push my, you know, creative envelope in areas and in spaces where it probably wasn't the best fit long term, but at least I tried things. I tried different things. I brought my skill set, you know, up and found some different things to work on, and then decided to work on some more of my things and all of that. But now I'm saying that I would like to, whatever it is that I decide to do, I've really surrendered, and this was hard, I really surrendered my entire career, creative development, way of doing things to God, the universe, creator, whatever you want to call it. And this was a more recent thing. And when I say recent, I mean like within the past couple weeks. I know I just kind of reframed livingalife.creativity.com, which now takes everyone to a creative life binary. And if you toggle over to the left, there's a couple of other links that will link you back to the original space of Living Your Life with Creativity, where a lot of the original work was, but if you go to livinginlifewithcreativity.com now, it would take you to a creative life binary. And that was born and birthed in March of this year, 2023. And so now, so that was birthed before this part of my awareness came to completely surrender my career life. Like, I surrendered my love life. That was one of the first things I surrendered, that I recall, like, being aware that I actually verbalized and like put out there. And now I'm dating somebody or in a courtship with somebody that I feel like is the right fit for me long term. It feels natural. Gonna see where this goes, but it actually has a really good core feeling to the entire courtship. And so I said to myself, well, if I can do it for that, why can't I trust myself, trust God, trust the universe to do it in my creative life, in my career development? So that's what I've done. That's what I'm doing. And it's caused me to like really, really look at the types of projects that I'm choosing. And you may have heard me talk about this in other videos, where I talk about this need to kind of like redo all that stuff. And it's not saying that I drop everything I'm doing now and just go a whole nother direction, because I've done a lot of work to get me to this point. So I've cleaned up, a lot of things and said no to things that I felt like wasn't a good fit and all that type of stuff. So I've been leaning in to my intuition a lot more. So now I'm just in a space where I'm saying yes to more of that. And I do want to allow myself to experience the ease of what life is really supposed to be for me, of what it's really supposed to, what I'm really supposed to create, what my hands are really supposed to be on and touch, and where the making a difference is. And I have even asked it to be very unique to me, connected to me, unique to me, something that develops out of all the work that God has allowed me to do and to experience, and let that work be a completed work that comes from me. Some collaborations, yes, but the core of it be my work, something that my hands have touched, and something that can go out there into the world on a consistent basis, where I show up in my complete authentic self, So that's it. And what exactly that's going to look like, guess what? I've surrendered that too. I've surrendered that. Right now, I know that it will likely show up in how I write and how I develop content, things like that, in my communication. That seems to be the more prominent way now that it's been showing up, is in my writing. And so I would continue to use that and develop that, because it feels right. It feels right. Another way that it's showing up is in my idea for a business with Lifestyle and Flow LLC. I'm still developing that. One part of that is Create Season Studio, which is the crafts that I work on, and just allowing that to be a continued healing path for me, but also a way for me to continue seeing how a business could develop out of that LLC. And so that's why I just wanted to create this video, to kind of allow others to kind of see and get a glimpse of my thought process and the actual experiences that I'm having that are leading me down this new path. And I think it's great. I think it's beautiful. And I do think that I'm where I need to be right now, even though many of the circumstances surrounding where I am right now doesn't feel like it's always aligning well. all the time. And so I'm going to go back to drinking my coffee, and then when I'm done with that, I'm going to get online and work on a couple of blog posts that I have already planned out, and just start posting things and stick with what I know now. You know, what I know now is I like to write, I like to blog, my voice shines in that space, and I produce work that's shareable and relatable, and that's where my light is right now, as God helps me to find the other ways where my light can shine and be of service for myself first and foremost, and then out into the world.